So it turns out myself got the down in the dumps. Daisy don't want to do anything, lazy, and I'm over here uploading this lovely week 2 review. Is this a week 2 or week 1? No, this is week 2. It has to be. But now technically it's week 3. Do I have any arguments? No, it hasn't changed in a whole week. They haven't dropped any new updates. I haven't seen any patch notes. I haven't looked. But so I just wanted to tell y'all, like, hey, you know, I've been doing my own shtick for a couple minutes, and now I'm back in the game. I just been lazy. I don't have people to motivate me right now, so I'm just kind of doing what I do and all this fun stuff. Again, if you guys want to see me play any games or anything like that, go ahead and hit me up on my lovely Twitch. Just hit the follow button so you see when I go live. I don't really have a schedule right now, especially considering I'm lazy as fuck is really the main reason. Now, looking into the Apex competitive is what I was trying to say earlier, but I deleted it so you don't know what I said. So I'm gonna try to put some videos up, just basically just the same kind of content that I'm pushing out right now, just to see if I can get a level of followers to see me and critique me and all that fun stuff. Apex ends right around the corner in about, I believe, in a month or less than a month now. So go ahead and watch me on that journey, because I'm kind of done with Halo at the moment. Until Elden Ring comes out, I pretty much ain't gonna do other than that. Maybe some games here or there that go on sale, but we'll see until then. And I hope y'all enjoy the video, and welcome back to another lovely day of Halo Infinite. I don't even know how to do these intros right. Anyways, so it's week 2, guys. I know the video's a bit late, but you know, who keeps track, right? Sure as hell not me. Anyways, welcome back to the week 2 review. If you guys want another review after 1 month, which is probably what I'm going to try to do, I'll probably set at least 2. Anyways, then feel free to come back in about a month or continue watching the content I'm about to put out. I did just buy a VR, so you might see some of that content. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. Anyways, let's see. So a lot of these that I talked about to people, I brought it up in parties where they don't want to actually talk in a video. So I was just like, whatever, let me just get some conversations out. Let's see what they think. I'll write it down, and we'll come back to it, basically, is what I said to them. And, well, they didn't want to do it, so here I am trying to, I don't know, do it myself. Okay, to start off, one of the things that kind of arose, because we're talking about friends already, is the fact that the party system seems to be glitched. It might be on my end, it might be on my friend's end, it might be on somebody else's end, but the idea of that as soon as we party up as a 4-stack, if you will, we might we have issues. We sit in the lobby for 30 minutes before one of us gets frustrated and leaves. I mean, it's fine, but we run into that issue, so it's a problem, you know, yada yada, basically. But I did raise the question just because I was trying to poke and prod. Was like, he's like, I was fine with my 2 other friends on Xbox, and I was quick to ask him, hey, were you by chance, were you a host or were they hosts? And he's like, I don't remember, I joined them. I'm like, well, that's kind of obvious then, they were hosts. So with that being said, I think Xbox has the better servers, PCs are kind of left behind in the dust. It is a cross-platform game. I don't expect Halo or 343 to actually get it down right off the bat, but it is an issue that we ran into. If you ran into that issue too, go ahead and tell me down in the comments. But to go to the next thing to talk about, I didn't have the chance to do custom matches. I really wanted to. None of my friends wanted to do anything. I don't have anybody to party up to do these videos, so unless I write a script out for somebody. But again, it's pulling teeth at this point. I mean, I guess you could do a lot of what is that called? Content. Yes, you can do a lot of content. No, I'm talking competitions. There we go. Input timers. Why the hell do I have input timers? I don't remember. But that reminds me of another thing I didn't talk about. Why can't you cancel the search, or like once it loads up and says waiting for other players, you're not able to back out unless you're in a party. Once you're in a party, you'll be able to back out of the party itself, but the party leader will not, given the party leader might actually load into a match and leave the other people behind. But still, it's kind of the thing that seems like the thing that you know isn't the issue. But again, PC experience, don't know about Xbox. My Xbox is actually messing up, so I'm not able to test this. Party matches would be good for competitions. Already did that, so this is done. So, going back to a very basic question. I asked them what would they want to see in the game. What would they want them to bring into the game to make it different and, like, you know, better than it already is. Besides this lovely story mode that's about to come out that will actually just give us some purpose, maybe some achievements, some cosmetics even for the multiplayer stuff. Like I mean I would say I need to play so I can get my stuff up, but I am ranked 20 in the battle pass, so I ain't gonna complain. The event is over. We did get a new armor set. The next event will drop in January, so I mean it's not really the next, it's the same one. And I'm still a little bit salty about that one. Apparently my wife didn't get the suit on that one either, so something else we're going to have to try for. But I asked them what they would like to see. They obviously said more maps. One of them said selection of party types. So basically going in and clicking only Slayer on quick play and playing that only. He was like, yeah, it'll be easier to, like, once you have a challenge for, like, Oddball, or Slayer, or Capture the Flag, or Stockpile, that you don't have to sit there and wait for it, you just can go in and play it. And then, I mean, that already, for me, raises the questions of issues of, like, custom games and things like that, like, why don't those count? Or, I mean, it's kind of obvious why they don't count, but, or, why can't you just, like, have a community board and start joining that in? Because I tried doing that, and I couldn't find a way to join people's matches, so I don't know, it might just be me. I'm not that detail oriented in that part, so that's my opinion. Things I would like to see is more weapons. With that being said, having a rotation on all the wall weapons. So for example, you kind of already have the rotation built in with the fact that you have A side and B side when it comes to most fucking matches, sorry. But the issue is, like, I had a challenge to get the heat wave kills, and you needed 8 of them or some BS like that. And the issue that I found is I spawned it on one side that had it, then we did a team flip or a spawn flip, and then I was on the side that didn't have it. And by the time I got to the other side of where the gun was, I died a whole bunch, realizing that it was placed in a different spot on the map, closer to where I spawned, so technically both teams have full access to the same weapons. But the issue I ran into is you should rotate them, so, like, just saying every 5 deaths, so every 5 minutes, or every, you know, depending on the match type, you rotate the guns, like, not really a spawn flip, just like put the commando to the next slot and put the, I don't know, the Hydra to that spot and just one over, basically. I think it would help get a lot of the weapons that don't have much play, a lot more play, and I think it would be good. That's what I would like to see, personally. If you guys have any strong opinions about what you would like to see, definitely would love to start a conversation down in the comments. So go ahead and go down there and comment what you want to see, and I'll hit you back up. I got this shit on my phone, guys. I'll hit you right back up. Anyways, somebody else was telling me that legacy weapons was the thing that they wanted. So basically, the sidekick is not the 50 cal pistol that we're used to from Combat Evolved or the first Halo, or first 2 Halos, I think. Makes sense. I'm in game with it. I understand. Or the fact that, I guess even the skins from the original, they might do it in some old challenges or new challenges or battle passes in the future, but the idea that they could have the skins or the guns themselves in that customized gun lobby kind of screen, I don't know, would be another good and solid point in my book. So the conversations that we started to have during this, we were like, hey, what, because I asked him what would you like to see in this game. I was obviously like, hey, let's get that PvP or that PvE in here, because a lot of these challenges are saying PvE. What do you want to do about that? Blah 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 blah. And they were like, yeah, that's cool, but what about Spartan abilities? I'm like, I don't remember how exactly we got to that, so I'm like, so you wanted to see Spartan abilities back into the game? And they're like, only a few. The obvious one I asked about, just because I've had it, and the one I used the most, was the jetpack. And they're like, no, jetpack is kind of pointless, especially with the match, what they call the map types. It's kind of pointless to have them, even though it would be interesting. But I mean, even if it was a small booster pack as a tactical ability, I think it would be interesting. But something he said was armor lock. He's like, don't you hate it when you're on the big map, or there's a certain map, I forgot the name of it, that you're running down the main road of one of the roads, and you just get fucking swamped by your teammates, you get swamped by enemy teammates, or enemy players, but they're all in vehicles, and they just run you over, and you explode and die, or you jump out in time and you get knocked into the wall. Wouldn't it be great to like armor lock in place and blow up the vehicle? I'm like, bro, I never did that. I didn't know that's what it was used for. I felt so bad and such a noob. That's exactly what he said. I think it would be great to bring that back in, especially as a tactical, just as like a, even if it's 2 seconds, but like short animation. I think it would be a good way to bring it in. We had some, what else? Anything else that they wanted to bring in? I mean, with that being said, the idea of the armor lock being a Spartan ability turned into a tactical, that's kind of how I've self-analyzed it in my head. I'm just reviewing my notes, and that's what it says, and it's just like, yeah, come on now, come on. Respawn timers, before 5 seconds, now 10 seconds. So, which is funny, because I physically saw this change. So, during the week, is this week 1? Or is this month 1? Is this week 2? So during the first 2 days, respawn timers on all game modes were 10 seconds. 1 week later, they switched to 8 seconds. But I feel like they could tweak it a little bit more and set it to 5. Or even 6. Just to drop it down an extra 2 seconds to get us back into the game faster. But at the same time, the argument is made that your game can't load fast enough, if you have a shitty PC, if you will, like I do. Your game can't load fast enough, therefore 8 seconds is proper. Which makes sense, because there's a lot of times where I see more 6-second timers than I do 8-second timers, just because of the way that I die and the countdown and things like that. Doesn't make sense, but at the same time, I'm greedy. Like, oh, add a game mode. I'm sure, like, Fiesta was a great game mode, especially for the event. Add a game mode where everything's cranked to 1000%, like they did for Overwatch. I think that would be great. Like, infinite tacticals randomized with, I don't know, moon jump and one-shot melees. Yeah, I think that would be fun. Without tracing. If they could turn off that tracing, that would be great. The crashing relogs. Came back if it crashes, the name's still in the game. Oh, so that one said it was the fact that a buddy of mine is running a lower end PC that we talked about, Mr. Drafts, how we love him. The issue that he was having was he would crash mid-game, but during the entire game it would still have his name, but wouldn't let him relog to the match. And it brought up some concerns, like, I've seen it happen on, I guess the information I saw was on TikTok, but one of the famous streamers got banned because of timeout issues, the fact that they won the match, but he left during the match and got banned because of it. And it was just like, okay, so, besides playing, you know, constant competitive, even playing recreational, if you will, if you can't get a full match in, there's a problem. And it kind of leans back to the idea that these are PC servers, not console servers. Even if we're sharing, I guess we're technically emulating. I don't know how you want to break it down, but that's what we ran into, and we found an issue that we couldn't sustain, or I don't know, even argue. It's not something like, oh, help desk at 343. No, they wouldn't care. I mean, of course they would take suggestions, but they wouldn't care. I have TTK in here for some reason. I guess I was just taking notes on the fact that it's much faster, and like it brings in a lot of Call of Duty fans, so I don't know. You know, somebody actually told me to buy Vanguard. Well, they didn't tell me to buy Vanguard. They told me if I haven't bought it yet, don't buy it. But the next Warzone map's about to drop, so play that. So if we get some Warzone content out later about me bitching about the entire thing, that's what it's gonna be, guys. Only player comp. Okay, so the competitive. I have my other competitive videos out right now. I should be pushing out my last 2 videos this week because editing sucks, and I'm trying to take out a lot of the deaths so I can speed up the process. But there were some of those game modes, man, they just suck horrible. This time around should be faster. I do apologize in advance. Blah blah blah. Anyways, but the point was the fact that I found out that there is a solo queue, then there is a solo queue / duo queue, then a public queue, which that's where if you do a 4-stack, that's where you would go, and that's where I ranked already. If you guys want to see my rank, it should be at the end of the video, but I digress. Unfortunately, that actually sums it up the entire video. If you guys enjoyed this conversation, if you enjoyed the background content, which I died a lot. I didn't like this. I recorded this on different settings because I noticed when I went back to try to do some of my double kill montages that my double kills were corrupted because of the lag during the stream or during the recording content because of the settings that I had. I guess that's a quick fix I can put in there too. One last thing, I guess. Freaking UI scaling. Don't put it to 200% unless you have a 3070, 3090, whatever the highest fucking one is right now, because oh, I broke my shit. So what happened was, this is a fun little story for you guys. What happened was I opened up Infinite, I was playing it, now I'm like, okay, it's time to stream. I want to get some recorded content for these videos, and I just smack them into the background and call it good. Bro, tell me why when as soon as I opened up OBS, the frame rate on Infinite went from 60 frames, because I have a shitty monitor, went from 60 frames to 3 frames. And this is in the lobby. The fact that the lobby frames went from 60, which should be like 120 or 240, whatever ultimate frames are in the lobby, to 3. And the highest being 8. I don't know why. I don't know, I took the average. Anyways, and it took me a while to get into the match. As soon as I got into a match, it was 14 frames. I'm like, I am not playing on the shitty PC. I immediately closed the game out. Reopened it up, still lagging. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna turn everything down to low settings. Have to restart it because of that. So I do that and get back in, and it's back up to 60, even though OBS is on and running. Decide to join a custom match or a training match to see to see how, you know, rendering gameplay on a map would be. And it turns out my scaling was still up when everything was set to low. It still fucked with it, and then I set it back to 100%, and then it fixed itself. But I left my settings on low, that's why it looks like this. But I also ran into the issue of finding out training, you can't edit the bot's guns. So there was this is where I ran into the issue of, I want somebody to shoot a rocket launcher at me so I can send it back to him with a repulsor, but I can't. So then I turned around and watched some YouTube videos on it, and there's a lot of cool things with that repulsor. It's really OP. A lot of people didn't know you can jump with it, which is weird. Anyways, I'm kind of babbling on now, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video, guys. Once again, comment down below what you would like to see in Halo Infinite coming from the past game. It is Infinite, therefore it should have all games, in my opinion. So tell me what you would like to see in this game, or some improvements, some disprovements, whatever you want to talk about in the comments. I will hit you up there if you do comment down below. And don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button to help the algorithm god send me somewhere. I'm thinking about streaming. This is a one-off thing that I thought about today after watching Phil DeFranco, if you guys must know. I might start trying to stream on YouTube. just because of the whole Twitch situation. See if I can get some more traction, get some more followers or subscribers, and yeah, that's basically it. Till next time, guys, have a good one. And I don't know, I honestly don't know what to say at the end. Bye. No, it's good. Later, guys.